Yay! Just waiting for this video to work properly. So I'm finally on, everybody. Hello, I'm finally on. Just waiting for this live video to take. So how are we? Welcome to Nurture Natter with Ness. Just going to wait for some of you to jump on and say hello. And while we're doing that, I'm going to grab my drum and then I'm going to use the rain stick as well. Okay. Is anyone with us yet? Let me know. Welcome with Nurture Natter. Sorry, Nurture Natter with Ness. Has anyone joined on yet? I was looking at my rain stick and it was on the other side. Here we go. Amazing, hey? I'm just going to check my phone to see if anyone is joining us yet. So let's have a look. This is the problem I had last week. Was unfortunately I couldn't see who was on. And I had to use my phone. One comment. Who have we got? Oh, no one yet. We've got two on. Please say hello. So if you're on, don't be hesitating to say hello. All right, so today what we're going to be talking about is forgiveness. Have you got your cuppa? I have mine. So what are we going to talk about with forgiveness? And whether or not it should be given. So I would love to hear some people's perspective on what they feel forgiveness is, or whether or not it should be given or not. Let's have a little bit of a talk about that. So whoever is on, I can see I've got two lovelies on. Please say hello. So if you don't know what we do once a week, we are doing what we call Nurture Natter with Ness, which can also be all things spiritual as well. Oh my goodness, I hate this chair because all I want to do is swish on it. So anyway, I started this live. I just got guided spiritually that I needed to do it. There's people out there that need help and support, and it just came to me and I thought, you know what, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to hesitate. I'm not going to think twice. I'm just going to do it. So I figured there wouldn't be a great platform to actually put myself live, ask you random questions, or you ask me random questions, and put me on the spot, obviously to do with nurturing, or today's topic is forgiveness, and what advice can I give you, or guidance can I give you? Okay, so anyone with me? I know that there's two viewers. Say hello. Don't be afraid. Ramona, are you with me yet? I hope so. It's really weird when you're talking to yourself. I love to see some comments come up, just so I know who's with me. And yeah, how you all going? So even if you answer that, how are you all going? How's your week been? Have you had a good week? And did you like my cards of the week this week? I actually had lots of people come back to me. I had one say to me, I actually needed to get my finances sorted, and you know, basically it was the best advice that they'd had. So it was confirmation that that's exactly what they needed to hear. So it's amazing how spirit pops up like that. And I don't know how it all works really. All I know is what I hear and what I want to provide. And it's pretty interesting how it all comes about for me. So, no one's saying hello. Are you shy today, everybody? Alright, so let's talk about forgiveness. Is there someone... Hello, Jen. How are you, sweetheart? Is there someone here who has got a grudge with a person or with a situation? Is there someone here that feels something around forgiveness? Because this topic comes up quite a lot for people, and I know I get people confronting me saying, why should I forgive? Why should I forgive? You know, they did me wrong, or they hurt me, or, you know, I'm the innocent one here. And actually, I can totally relate, because a lot of us are, you know, caught in the middle of why we should forgive, if we should or shouldn't. Okay. So what have you been up to, Jen? Everything been good for you? Have you had a good couple of weeks? We haven't connected for a while. I've been following a lot of different people lately. Diego, I've been sharing a couple of his posts to do with astrology and moon and, you know, the 3D up going into 5 frequency. So all sorts of things coming through to me, and Spirit's guiding me quite a lot lately. Even today, like yesterday, I was at a meditation circle with some amazing ladies, and I sort of said to Spirit in the meditation, what's my topic going to be today for my nurture natter? And Spirit said, forgiveness, of course, Ness. And I was like, what? Okay. So I went with it. Hello, Ramona. I'm glad you're here. I thought, oh, no, you're not here. I've got 4 people watching, so say hello. Jen says it's been good. Thank you. Just tested a lot with my car. It keeps playing up on me. All right. One thing I'm going to suggest to you, Jen, have you actually thought about having a chat with your car? Because it is energy. Hello, Lynn. How are you? It is energy, right? Actually sitting with your car, even if sitting inside it or over the bonnet, and have a chat to it and ask it, why are you not running properly? Is there anything that I need to get for you? And Jen, you're pretty spiritual. Be open to what messages you can. Maybe it just needs a good TLC and, you know, a bit of love and a bit of connection. Because everything is energy. So what goes around comes around. And when we think about that, it can actually help. It helps us heal when we ask, you know, or we're given, someone says, what do you need? And you get reassured when you get your questions answered, or you get the support that you need. So maybe exactly what your car's needing. Okay? So think about it. And if it just needs a little bit of TLC or a bit of love, say, well, okay, what TLC do you need? Do you need me to put some good music in you when I drive? Or do you, what's the other thing we can say? Do I need to get you washed on a regular basis? Hello, Jelly, those sorts of things. So just tune into what your car needs and see whether or not you might help it along. All right, so hello, Donna. Good to see you. So, wow, we've got 5. Yay. Okay, so back to my topic. My topic today is forgiveness. So those that have just joined me, think about this. Should it be given? So have you got a grudge with somebody at this stage and you still don't think you've moved past it? Hey, Donna. Yes, Ness, you're so right, and I'm going to try that. Thank you. You're welcome, Jen. Jen says I pulled a card just before about forgiveness. Yeah, see? Confirmation. I got my confirmation in my meditation yesterday. So you're getting confirmation in all sorts of different synchronicity things that are happening around and around. So it is constant. It's showing up. So, yeah. So think about it. Think about your situation currently. Who has a grudge? Or maybe you don't look at it as a grudge. Maybe as you look at it as, I'm not going to let go of that. It's just not the right time. It could be a situation that did you wrong. There may be someone at work that pushes your buttons. And, you know, or there could be just things are not going as planned and you're getting really frustrated in life, throwing these circles back at you or cycles of life around. Ramona says, I don't have any grudges at all, but moving on is my best form of forgiveness for oneself. It is, absolutely. And we're going to get to that. So I know that there is possibly someone there listening that has not forgiven or has that stuck situation of, you know, forgiving someone. You think about it, in the negative side, your inner critic could be saying to you, if I forgive, they win, you know, or should forgiveness be forgiven because I'm not the one that was in the wrong. Been in that situation. It's not, and it's not that you don't want to let it go. Part of us just feels so stuck in that situation sometimes, and I get so many people going, oh, it's just going to be so hard to forgive. It's just going to be so hard to forgive. Okay. And this is the thing that people don't realize, you know, like I get a lot of people who come to me because their inner child is not where it should be, or it's struggling with trauma. And trauma doesn't just, you know, always, like for a lot of people, trauma isn't just something that's always there. You may not have seen any signs until you get to a certain age in your life where it shows itself. Because believe it or not, our body keeps score. And it's kind of like this, it's like if we get stressed, triggers it, right? Or if we feel fatigued, or we feel overloaded or exhausted or anything like that, it can trigger it. You may be coasting along until you get to your 50s and boom, something comes up for you that you've never dealt with, right? And Jen says, I believe multiple, yes, I believe multiple, and all adds up to childhood, like forgiveness from sexual abuse and resentment, past lovers, let down people hurting you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Jen, it does. And I have been in exactly your situation. All of your story connects to me. And that's where I struggled for a very, very long time, you know. But the one thing about forgiveness, and I'll go back to Jen in a minute, so remind me, Jen. So one thing about forgiveness is the people that hurt you, especially through your childhood, and this is coming back in your 40s or 50s, right? The trauma comes through and it gets triggered. The people that hurt you, think about it for 1 second. What if they're doing their best with the tools that they have? Yeah? And some people go, well, their best is not good enough. They should have tried harder. But some people just don't know, because their belief systems, what they're taught, how they're brought up, is all they know. Okay? And it's not until they get older that they self-reflect and want peace within their life and choose to have their children happy and positive, and, you know, their relationships with their parents, the strict rules and the you know, the requirements of a child growing up being seen and not heard, and a lot of this healing and patterns are coming through now. Lynn says, just said mine at life at the moment. Things seem to never go to plan. Yep. Wondering if our son and family will soon get a house to get back closer to after a tragic family loss. Okay, I'm not sure, you know, I guess the thing is today we are just going to be talking, and we'll do readings at the end. Not individual readings, it'll just be a group reading. But life doesn't go to plan, and one thing I will say to you, Lynn, history will repeat itself. Not in exactly the same form always, but very similar, until we decide what we've learned and how to move forward through this, right? And a lot of it could be forgiveness. Something's triggered you to prompting that up, you know. And this is the thing. I'm sorry that you've had a sad loss in your life, Lynn. So, and it's hard. It really is hard to move forward from, you know, grief and loss, and especially when it's tragic. And it can be really, really tough. But I am getting that the support that you offer, Lynn, as the mum, okay, and as the parent is over and above, okay? We come through an amazing generation now where we are really self-reflecting, and a lot of it is about forgiveness. And that's where it comes to the fact is remembering, just for a moment, were they doing the best they could with the tools they had, right? And that's what they are taught from their family, how to be brought up, the right thing to do, the rules. Don't ever step over those boundaries and those rules. You know, you must do as you're told. Children are seen and not heard. And that's scary when you look at it, because I know there was times when, you know, my parents wanted their fun time, and my brothers and myself went to sleep in the car, because that's what the belief system was, is, you know, they'll be safe, and we were sitting on the side of the street in the car, you know, and that's how it was in the 70s and 80s and beyond that, before that, you know. And that's the thing is, you think, oh wow, my parents would never have done that, or that's just really bad. But because that's the belief system of how bad that was, and it isn't the best situation to be in. But when you think about it, that's what they knew, okay? They weren't thinking about putting us at risk. They thought we were completely safe. So, you know, and we as kids had complete trust in that. So, you know, self-reflection, you might, you know, be one of those children that were put in that situation, and you have some nightmares about it because the belief system is now that that is absolutely wrong, you know. But that's what they did back in those days, you know. I remember the times when my brothers were naughty and picking on me or having an argument, so Mum left them on the side of the road. You know, of course she went back for them, but this is the tools that they had with the best that they had, and the knowledge that they knew, you know. So, I mean, I'm sure there was plenty of times when your parents threatened you with, if you don't behave now and stop arguing, I'm going to put you on the side of the road. And this was in Bunbury, so we lived in Bustleton. So this is, you know, 60 k's away. Mum felt guilty and came back and picked the boys up, but wouldn't have left me there because I was only like, you know, 4 or 5. But it's interesting how times have changed and how our parents have changed their belief systems as well, if this makes sense. So, and it is hard when I'm reading your you know, comment there, Lynn, about, you know, it's at that moment where things never go to plan. So, how do we change it? How do we change it? Okay, so it's the mindset. You know, 6 months ago, probably actually September, I was caught up in a bit of victim mentality. Hello, mummy. This is my mummy. So I was caught up in a bit of victim mentality, and things were not going to plan, and I was like, just come out of this relationship. What's not working for me? Why am I not getting anywhere? Why am I not moving forward? And it was that moment that I went to Ray Egan's mindset and meditation and totally flipped my mindset. I was the one thinking subconsciously, why wasn't things going to plan? Why wasn't I moving forward? Why wasn't I in that situation of change? Why wasn't I feeling any better? That was because it was me that wasn't feeling any better. And this may be different to you, but I came to that realization that it was up to me to change my mindset. It was up to me how I dealt with situations. Hello, Jules. It was up to me how I was responding to my thoughts, how I was listening to my inner critic, how I was not, trusting in myself and trusting in my guidance to that connection with the universe and spirit. I wasn't listening, and I was caught up in, and the patterns were the same, or things were not going to plan. I was getting really frustrated. But the more I got frustrated, the more I was creating the stuff not moving forward. And I thought, what's causing all of this? And it was my mindset. From every single day, from that point, I chose to change it and respond to my thoughts differently and nip them in the bud. And that's going off topic, but I just felt I wanted to comment on how we can move forward. So I nip them in the butt. I, do positive affirmations. I put my music on in the morning, and I choose to feel better, and I choose to move forward, and I choose to not let those things stop me from feeling good. So that's kind of like how I moved forward with the change of mindset. It's music. My thing is music, and my mum, she's listening. She'll say, oh yes, when I was in my teen years, there was AC/DC and there was Poison, Bon Jovi, Guns N' Roses, all sorts of different things coming through, Blondie. All music was always around me, and it always made me feel good. I used to love George Michael and Wham, all sorts of different songs. And I play those songs now because they trigger happiness and the endorphins to help me feel better. So anyway, let's get back on topic now. Jen. So Jen, talking about your stuff, and you say here when you had when we talk about forgiveness, you have multiple, and I'm interested to know as to why do you choose. I want to know why. Anyone watching as well, comment is why you have grudges or situations where you can't let go of, you can't forgive, you can't move forward. Are you building up the resentment there? I want you to tell me and answer the question is, why do you choose to hang on to it? Let's hear what some of you think. Are you scared to answer me? Or is my internet really delayed? Mum, you can say hello to me if you want to. My mum's Kayleen. I'm sure, Mum, you have some things underlining there. Some things there that you may think with your parents, etc., or, those sorts of stuff, or relationships. Lynn, thank you. I totally agree with the past years and parents. Exactly. And that's the thing. What happens is things don't come out until, you may be coasting along, and we've been taught, just sweep it under the carpet. Don't worry about it. It'll go away. And that's not our parents' fault. That's not our friends' fault. It's how life has been. That's what we're taught because that's what we know. And these are the things people do the best they can with the tools that they have, right? And this is the thing, is I just want to know, with you I'm making you all think, why do you choose to hold that grudge or not forgive? Okay. And I remember a conversation on my wall a few months ago with someone that had, not forgiven because the situation of what their parents had done. So, there's so much there. But the thing is, what people don't realise is our parents made us resilient. Our parents didn't mollycoddle us. Our parents made us tough because that was the best thing to do. And I tell you now, I'm not tough. I didn't want to be tough. I was afraid. I was too gullible to be tough. But they tried really hard to make us tough. Ramona, the subconscious nightmare flashback show me signs that not all has been let go. Aha. But isn't like layers of an onion. It is like layers of an onion. Peel one away at a time a year. That's right. So, and this is the thing, okay? Some people will go, oh yeah, I've let it all go. Something comes up that triggers it. And you look back at that situation and you really have to be honest with yourself. Have I let this go? Why would you be hanging on to it? Because what happens when we hold on to that grudge or that situation or haven't forgiven, it stays within the body like a disease. It doesn't heal properly. Body doesn't heal properly. I know, I'm a prime example, because when I was when I was 31, it does store in the body, Jen, exactly right. When I was 31, my dad passed away. I knew when I was 24 that I had type 1 diabetes, but the doctors didn't believe me. Okay, so getting pregnant, having gestational diabetes, then after my dad dying, I went to Melbourne and bang, bang goes my pancreas, right? Not that. Hello, Denise. How are you, sweetheart? Some comments come up here and some comments don't. So I just want to check my page there. Okay, so my pancreas died at 31, late onset. So, and that's, hello Van, nice to see you here, sweetheart. Festers into depression. But you know what, Denise? It festers into disease as well. And this is the thing that I'm saying, is not that, anyone could have avoided what situations had happened. Okay? It was my body reacting. Not only was it an awakening at 31 spiritually, but also that was a lifestyle change because I stored it in my stomach, my stress. I never dealt with it, all right? So then as time went on, of course, prior to that, my thyroid went, so I have Hashimoto's, which was, just after my daughter was born. Mum picked that up in me. And then in my 40s, mid-40s, 47-ish, I had fibromyalgia. So, these are the things, it stores in the body, absolutely, and it does and possibly triggers some depression. But, and I've picked, unfortunately, the same cycles of relationships too. And I've started to realize that what is the point in holding a grudge? Okay, those relationships didn't serve me. I look back now and, they were probably not the best people to have picked going out with or being, in situations with. Some were great, some weren't. And a lot of them were very much so my cycles of life. I was repeating the same type of relationships, the same type of men. And I wasn't worthy of having a relationship that was with a good man. And this is what I started to realize, that as time had gone on, awesome. Yes, your migraines. Denise says my migraines were stress until I accepted to let go, and now great. And that is about what it is letting go. And you know, my last situation, my last relationship, a lot of things happened, and I found out 5-6 months after we'd broken up the things that had happened. Okay, a lot of you know what happened, and it's probably not ideal to put that over air, but I could have reacted, I could have responded, I could have gone with, oh, you know, what do I, you know, and gone with resentment and chosen to attack him, and I didn't. And I made that choice because I didn't want to have resentment. I struggled with pain, so much pain with fibromyalgia and spikes of depression and spikes of anxiety and being neurodiverse, you know, ADHD and, you know, on the slight spectrum. And I wasn't going to be the person I used to be. I needed to let go of the cycles and forgive. Whatever he did, he did. And in that moment, I had to realize that there was no point in going off and letting go and having my say on how I felt, because what was that going to prove? And my friend Marissa said to me, what's it going to prove? So I had to think about it, because really that was going to be more resentment, more build up, more stress. Why wasn't I able to just let it go? And that was my choice to choose that, and I did that because I didn't want to be stuck in the situation of feeling more depressed, more anxious, more pain, everything like that. You know, it was going to send me down. I'm going good, thanks, Van. It was going to, you love others, good D, Denise, and that's it. I wasn't going to go for the old ways anymore. I was going to talk about it. I was choosing to talk about it. I was choosing not to go down and hang on to that, because I would end up worse, and I wouldn't be probably sitting here today if I let it get to me. It's not that I chose to just go, I don't want to deal with this and sweep it under the carpet. No, I actually dealt with it and talked to it, and I went through counselling through it to actually be able to come to the awareness of why wasn't I able to forgive. I'd forgiven the relationship, I'd forgiven him for not being the man that I expected, but I had to forgive this next part of it, and that was my choice, and I chose to. And it's really important that I bring this up, because a lot of us are choosing to hang on to that grudge, and that's why I ask you why. Are you feeling like they don't deserve it? Yes, that is an important fact, that when you think about it, do they deserve it? Probably not. But in that situation, in that crossroad, right? You're at that crossroad and you think about it. If you want to move forward, you're not going to be able to, because that person or that situation or that event is still going to control you, where you go from here. Your next relationships, your work situation, your family situations, your health situations. Now think about it. Think about it. Okay? Do you want that to control every area of your life? That person? And a lot of you probably haven't thought about that to the point of, wow, you know, my dad might have done this, or your dad might have done that, and he's not here anymore. He can't turn around and say to you, I'm sorry. Mine has. But this is what I want you to think about, is why, or your ex, why would you want your ex to control your next relationship, how you feel? Because that means history is going to repeat itself, right? You'll end up with the same situation and the same relationships or the same type of person, because it's going to keep showing up for you. So, and you love self before others. Yeah, that's right. Exactly. So, you know, and that's perfect, Denise. So I think a lot of us don't realise, to be honest, just making sure I've read all your comments because they're not coming through on my phone now. Your son's dad, and I'm working on forgiveness, and that's hard to do. I waited until my daughter's dad, and I know he's probably going to watch this, till my daughter was 18. Okay, think about it. And in so many situations, I repeated that one too. And it took me, until my daughter was 18. So I'm talking about, she's 22 now, so 4 years ago, right? So Jen, hearing all of that, knowing that you're working on forgiveness with your son's dad. So think about that for a minute. Is it worth holding a grudge? Because we all want that great relationship, that next one person. If you haven't got it, if you have, great. You've probably done a lot of work to get to that point. But is that stopping you from moving forward into the next relationship? Or if you are in a relationship but you know your last one was not forgiven, how is that relationship showing up for you? Is there patterns that you feel are repeating themselves? Or are there situations or characteristics of that person in that person? Do you get what I'm saying? Oh, I can see my aura. How cool is that? I've got a pink aura. I'm doing love today. How cool. And I've got blue around here. So, yeah. So I want you to think about that. So, you know, your dad died at the age of 2. It has caused a lot of anger in my life, and I thank him for leaving. So I thank him for leaving so early. So I'm not quite sure whether you thank him or thank him, or you think about him. You're angry with him for leaving so early, Jen? And that's tough. Like, you know, I got 31 years with my dad. Yeah, forgive. Yeah. Forgiving is a really, really important thing. And I don't know, this is like one of my favorite topics. So, you know, like I got 31 years with my dad. So, you know, I was really, really blessed in that perspective. But I don't know, maybe too, you know, I might have had some resentment around that as well, because I haven't got married. Who's going to walk me down the aisle? Do you know what I mean? Like, all of those traditions are lost when that happens. And I haven't adopted a father figure. You know, so it's what, yeah, you was angry. Yeah. And I think to think about it when you really tune into the message is, why am I allowing this situation to hold me back? Why am I choosing that for myself? You know, and when it goes back to I'm not worthy, that's because something has been ingrained in me since I was a child that I wasn't worthy. I do remember my lovely Nana on my dad's side. I love her dearly, but she's not with us anymore. I was telling her when I was about 4 or 5, that I wanted to be a ballerina. And my Nana turned around and said to me, because I was a chubby kid, she said, Vanessa, you know that they don't have fat ballerinas. Your legs are too thick. You're not going to be a ballerina. I was gobsmacked, absolutely at 5, going, what? I love who I am. I'm perfect, you know. And I don't know. Who knows whether that was another thing that could have been built up in there. But I needed to find forgiveness, because I never forget that. Forget that. And I hung on to that because it made me feel like I wasn't worthy. Hello, Stephanie. I wasn't worthy of anything good, of working hard to achieve whatever I wanted in life. So, you know, that's the thing is I had it in my head for anything that I wanted to do, I wasn't worthy of. Lucky I did some of the work prior, so I wouldn't have felt worthy of doing these sorts of things, because going on live, you need to feel pretty confident in yourself to do it. And it isn't easy. It isn't easy. And forgiving my nana, she knew she said the wrong thing. Of course she did. She'd broken a little 5-year-old's heart. Her dreams were shattered in that moment. But why was I going to let Nana control me? She only gave me the advice that she knew was the best advice for me, right? So it's just interesting, you know, when you look back where it all stems from. And I always say go back far as you can. Go back to that point that you can remember, where you felt you first got bullied or traumatized, or something said to you like I did. You know, all sorts of those situations that arise for you. And it can be as simple as saying, okay, I forgive you. But without intention, that's subconsciously you're not wanting to do it. So it's important to have the intention behind it. So being truthful and really wanting this to be able to move forward. As loving as my grandparents are, they often said things like that hurt. And I'm sure they didn't mean it. They meant it but they meant it in the best way possible. Okay? So I can think, you know, like my nan's passed, so she's had this conversation with me. She meant it in the best way possible, not to offend me, but to make me have other dreams that were more within my reach, right? I mean, she was right. I was a chubby kid. I wasn't going to make it as a ballerina. My legs were too thick, you know, but she said that to me in the best way she knew how to put me on a different direction. Who knows? That could be the when you think, dig deep down, this is where I found this, you know? So it all stems down to there's a reason behind everything that can lead you to where you need to be. So having gratitude then becomes more specific of why you had that, okay? That's why I say the resilience. They made us strong. Our parents made us really strong, okay? Is it all clicking in now? Yeah. And I think it becomes the norm because that's what we're taught. So anyone else have stuff that they wish they could want to share? If you want to share it with me in private message later, that's fine. I feel like my coffee's lasted forever today. It's quite cold now. Charmaine would be saying to me, just drink it. Coffee's great, hot or cold. So, and I think, you know, when we talk about forgiveness, it's really important for us to realize the reason why we haven't given that forgiveness. And that's why I say it controls everything in your life. Everything. The body's going to get tired eventually and something's going to trigger it if it hasn't been dealt with. It'll come up regardless, okay? So it's up to you where you go with that. I'm not saying you have to forgive. At the end of the day, it's your decision to forgive. You can choose to let it hold you back, or choose to subconsciously store somewhere in the body, you know, and or you can actually choose to bring on that forgiveness and really feel the intention of really to let it go. And you're probably thinking, what does that involve? Like, how do you actually bring peace into your life and let it go? Sometimes it's going to take work. And if you keep saying things like, I'll do it when I'm ready, you may never be ready. And your body may never heal from that if you choose to say that to yourself. So subconsciously, if you say, I'll do it when I'm ready, subconsciously the subconscious is saying, I don't think you're ready, so we'll just keep you safe here and we won't worry about it. Okay? And it's very, very difficult to move forward from that until you start to see the patterns. So, yeah, I think How you do it is being really, truly ready with the right intention. And I love this word intention because intention to me is the most important thing when working with people. So when I say intention, it's when I work with spirit. I believe that if I don't have a good intention of helping someone for the right reason, those sorts of things, it's having the good intention. So if we think about it this way, I give readings. Spirit's not going to work with me if I don't see the good in this, or I'm not willing to help. Okay, because that's the reason why I do things, and that's the reason why these situations come up. So I always say, if I do this with the right intention, it's going to give me what I need, and that's peace of mind to help someone else. But especially when you're counseling, having the intention of helping that person, coming from a place of good. Okay, intuition will kick in really strongly, I believe, when your intention is true, when you come in with good reason to do something. So your intention when you're letting go of a situation, bringing in forgiveness, letting go of the resentment, the anger, the hurt, the sadness, the fear and the grief around it, it's really having the intention that you're ready. And sometimes you may not be ready, and sometimes you may or may not need to force it. The choice is yours, really. If you're forcing it, then you're not really ready. So having that intention is the most important thing. And I love gestalt therapy. I really do. That's the empty chair. I can't get my words out. The empty chair therapy, role play. And I mean, to me, when we do this process, and I don't like to give too much away because this is my technique, but it's basically having the conversation, okay? Having the conversation with that person, imagining that they're there with you, telling them the way they hurt you, and actually then coming to a place of gratitude and making peace, and then saying out loud, it's okay, I forgive you. You can't say that to the person to their face, because that could cause all sorts of problems, because they could be thinking, oh, well, you know, what have I done wrong? You're the one that hurt me. No, this is all about energy. This is all about the intention. So then it's cutting the cords, you know. Letting go and feeling that forgiveness can give you so much peace and so much connection to yourself, changing so much in the brain, so much mindset, everything. So it's your choice. So do you choose to have a grudge? I want you to think about that again. Why do you choose to have a grudge? Are you just not ready? Or do you feel that they don't deserve it? Okay? It's not about them deserving it. Remember that at the end of the day, it's about your freedom and your peace within yourself to actually let it go. Because when you think about it, the longer you hang on to something, the longer it takes for you to heal. Great, Jen. And do you actually mean that? Are you ready to do that? Are you ready to do that? Choose to let go and forgive. I love that. If you're absolutely ready to do it, do it. Because it will change your life. It's that domino effect. It's the ripple effect. It's like when you throw that stone into the water the right way, it's only going to ripple across the top of the water, and that's your life. That will change your life dramatically, and it's up to you whether you do that. I know I don't want to be stuck in patterns of history that keep repeating itself, causing me more and more grief. You know, and that's where I come to realize, and I look back on my life and when my disease started at around 29, 30, when my thyroid stopped working. I look back and I wish I had have known all this stuff, because I didn't want to wait to my 40s to find hypnotherapy, do it on myself and have others do it on me, which then obviously transferred into that other ripple effect of me healing myself doing more work and then coming back and doing it myself, you know. I chose not to do counselling either because I was too strong for that. I didn't want to do counselling. People would talk about me. People would judge me. The inner critic was kicking in going, oh, you don't want to do counselling. Why would you want to do that? Yeah. And it's important to talk about it. It's really important to talk about it with the people that you love or with somebody, to share with what's going on in your heart and what's holding you back and how do you let it go. Because it isn't easy. It isn't easy, I can tell you. You're happy to let go, Jen. I love that. And that's it. It's important to really, really understand the meaning behind it. Don't just say it. Because subconsciously, like I say, your subconscious or your unconscious, is another way of saying it through the hypnotherapy world, is it doesn't understand what you mean. Do you or don't you? Okay? Are you letting this go or aren't you? Well, if you're trying or you're thinking about it or you're just not ready yet, it's not going to help you. Your inner critic's going to keep working on that and saying, no, you're just not ready. Hi, June. Lovely to see you here. So, yeah, I think when we get to the gist of forgiveness, it's really important to ask yourself, why am I holding this grudge? Why is it so important to me to hang on to it? Is it important? Are you going to continue to let that person, that situation, that event, that cycle of life keep repeating itself? Or that person or that situation or that event holding you back? So, your choice at the end of the day. And if you choose to feel better, it's going to make a difference. Do things that you love to do, things that boost you up, that give you that self-care and that nurturing. Yeah? Journaling, writing, so powerful to let go of situations and people that hurt you. Meditation, grounding. Focus yourself on moving forward. Okay? That's how we get there. We choose that. We can't control any situation or any event or things that happen, but we can control how we react in turn, which is our path and where we go from that point. Okay? Our brain can only take in about 424 bits of it. I can't remember 421 bits of information in any given one moment. I think. So we get given bits and bits and bits of information. It's our values and our perspectives and how we deal with it in that moment that transfers that physiology out of our mouth. So think about it. Are you going to hold that grudge? And I just dribbled. So think about it. Who is going to put their hand up to start forgiveness? Put your hand up. I don't know. Or just say yes, 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 if you are ready to forgive because of what I have said today. If you feel you have nothing to forgive, great. Good. I love to hear that. Maybe that's where you're at, is nothing to forgive. Also forgiving yourself. Yes, Jen. Love that. Love your prompts there, sweetheart. Forgiving yourself is very important. Okay? Why are you angry at yourself for? Think about that. Ask yourself, what have you done? Really? You might have slipped up and said something or done something or coerced a situation. We're all human. We all make mistakes. Do you not like yourself because you don't look the part, your body's not perfect, or you've got wrinkles, or, you don't like your hair colour, or you don't like your hands, or your fingers, or your toes. I don't know, you don't like your feet. Why are you really angry at yourself? You're only human. You all make mistakes. God, I hate my chair because I swish so much in it. I think it is about own self. I love that. I love that, Ramona. That is so good. It is about healing myself. Why are you holding a grudge towards yourself? What have you done? Okay? And we're all not not perfect. Apologize to yourself. I'm sorry, Ness, for letting you down. Hello, Abby. So sorry, Ness, for letting you down. And that's where it comes to that heart space and that intention, right? You gotta mean it. If you don't mean it, subconsciously it's not gonna work. So be strong with yourself. Love yourself enough to give back to you. Okay? Write yourself a love letter and read it to yourself time and time again. Tell yourself how amazing you are and the accomplishments you've had, because everything in your life happens for a reason. You are where you are today because of that situation. You chose to learn from it and move on. Have you? So, forgiving the self is possibly where it all begins. You might be saying, oh, you know, Ness, why did you hold that grudge to that person, you idiot? You're cursing yourself. Of course. And just say, okay, first of all, I'm going to forgive that person and tell myself that it's okay for a start that I held that grudge for a long time. Because, you know, you only know what you know and you do the best that you can with the tools that you have. And that's what it's all about. So loving the self, nurturing the self, grounding yourself, going and rewarding yourself, buying yourself that beautiful dress or that piece of jewelry or that amazing outfit. Whatever it is that you want for yourself, reward yourself. And when you see that outfit or that thing that you buy for yourself, even if it's a coffee, say, it's okay because I deserve it, I'm worth it. Little pep talks to remind yourself that you are worth it, that you do love yourself, and you, hello Sam, amazing journey you're on now, sweetheart, doing the wedding celebrancy, awesome. So it's coming from that heart space to nurture yourself and really love and work on that heart space for you. No one's perfect, we're all human. It's how we learn and how we make mistakes, but don't hold a grudge with yourself. That's the worst thing that you could do, okay? Because, you know, it won't get any easier from this point if you choose to hold on. And that's exactly the same as when I'm talking about other people, situations, events, etc. Talking about you too. Talking about you as well. All right. So, I would love anybody who's watching, I know there's 4 of you, you've tuned in for the last hour, so congratulations. Anyone that has any questions for me about forgiveness before I do a reading, okay? Big little steps. I love it. I didn't even know. Did you tell me you were doing that, or was that a surprise, Sam? I don't know. I haven't seen you at circles lately, hun. I've got one on the 9th if you're going to come. And we've moved, by the way. We're at Art Geo. So I'd love to see you back, unless you have something special planned. All right. So any questions, anybody? Please, 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 please ask me some questions if you feel you still aren't ready for forgiveness. Let's think. Is there any here that really after that still need to ask me a question? And I tell you what, through all of this I can't change the damage that's been done to my body. You probably you didn't say anything, so I was really surprised, Sam. So, you know, I can't change what happened to my body and the situations in life, because I'm not going to resent that I've got illness. No way. Okay? It's what happened. And it's okay that I have those, because they're to remind me that I'm still healing. Okay? There probably will be no cure for the things that have happened to my body. But what I can do is nurture that and hold space for myself and my inner child and let her know that it's okay. Okay? So, you know, I can't change the pain that I'm in as far as physical pain. Emotional pain, that I have lots of that, but I'm healing from that. But it is time. It takes time and work. And I had someone ask me the other day, how do you manage it? Keep doing this work. Keep helping others, keep helping myself. But remember myself first. When I don't feel something is right, I will say no. Because that's honouring the self. okay? But it's also looking after the self, going for walks or grounding myself or meditation or, you know, choosing better choices that don't sacrifice myself or don't hurt myself with. All right, nobody has any questions. I was hoping somebody would have some questions. Nobody? All right, who's here still? We've got 5. Okay, and no matter what, everything happens for you or to you for a reason, okay? Just grabbing a deck out. Everything happens to you for a reason, and it is hard to get out of that cycle until you realize the reason why as well, because we're all healing through this journey. We chose this life, we chose this human experience. Everything that is happening because we chose it. You're probably thinking, what? I would have chosen that, and I would have chosen this, and I would have chosen that. Sorry, but I will disagree with you. Because whatever happens is meant to be, and you will learn from that. That's what your human experience needs to feel. The soul can't feel this, what you're going through, right, without the human vessel. Jen says, I always tell myself that you told me we have this, my body wants. We do. So look after it, nurture it, love it. Focus on whatever you can to get better. Talking about it. If you feel like you're at your last tether and you've had enough, talk about it. Don't get to that point where there is no return. Okay? Reach out. All right. So the deck that I have chosen is the Energy and Spirit Oracle, which is by Sandra and Taylor. That's right. All right. So I'm just going to pull us a card just for today's session before I go, because it's been quite an interesting hour. I hope that you got a lot out of today's session, everyone. And those that are interested in coming to my circle in Bustleton next Saturday at Art Geo from 1 to 4:30, $40, all is supplied. Okay. The theme, Linda and I have been talking. For those that know Linda, there's a big surprise coming. So I'm not telling you what it is yet, so you'll just have to wait and see. The other side of that too, tomorrow, if you're in Bustleton, I am doing 20-minute readings for $45 at Jinx the Label where I work. They're having a boho market day tomorrow, and I will be doing readings from 10 till 3. All day, 20-minute readings. So if you're interested, please text or message me. Otherwise, walk-ins will be accepted if there's spaces available, and you've got to fill in my amazing booking sheet. Yay! All right, so you really liked this talk. You're welcome, Jen. Muchly appreciated. My pleasure. All right, here we go. So let's just put our intentions out there, everybody that's watching. I just want you to think about your question, what it is that you want to know, whatever guidance you're needing, and let's see what card we reveal today. And I'm going to put them down so I can feel them today. So let's have a look. There we go. Today's card. Ooh, creation. What a beautiful card, hey? All right. This is number 37, which adds up to be 9, and I love number 9 because 9 is all about letting go, saying goodbye to the old and welcoming in the new. So it's bring in the new. So, and when I look at this card, I'm seeing your choice here. What do you create for your next journey? Do you create to stand still, or do you create to move forward? Okay? It's all about mindset. And the soul's expression here is all about you exploring self-care, right? So this could be gardening, this could be painting, this could be going to do a new course, this could be, you know, exploring new things. And this is exactly what this card is all about, soul's expression and something new. So I feel Spirit is giving us confirmation that the only way we move forward is to start forgiving, letting go, self, others, events, situations. To move forward and reward yourself with something new, something you've always wanted to do, something that you love. Okay, because you are so worth it. You are so deserving of new beginnings, new starts, whatever it is that you put your mind to. Hello, Jess, my lovely. It is beautiful, and it's about what you water as well. It's a bit like watering a plant. If you don't nurture it and you don't water it, it ain't going to grow. It's okay. So that's about the self. If you don't nurture and water yourself and look after yourself, are you going to have the growth that you would like? Are you going to move forward? So nurture and love yourself like you would a plant. I have to remind myself to nurture myself like I remind myself to water my plants. Yes. Okay. So it's really important, and this is a great message for me, is do not neglect the self. The only way we grow when we move forward is to take those challenges, step out of our comfort zone and grow into something new. Take that leap of faith. And I really love this card. It's about self-nurture. Find that new thing to find you peace and bring you happiness, because you've got this. You were so worth it. So well done, everybody. I love that card for you. I'm out of here. Okay, sorry for those that have just joined and missed what today's topic was. That was forgiveness. So if you really want to find out about what we talked about, please watch the replay and let me know that you're watching the replay. All right, love and light to you all. I'll see you next week. It'll be a surprise again. I don't know when, what time. Nurture Natter will be on again. It is a lovely card. Hello, Alicia. You're going to see me on Thursday. Yes, you will. So whenever I do this again next week, you will know. You're welcome, Jen. Love and light to you. You will do. Good, 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 Sam. Perfect, Ramona. You have a great weekend, and have a great weekend, everybody else too. You know, everyone, Ramona, Sam, Jen, Alicia, everyone that's watching. Jess, Mum, if you're still there, have a good weekend. Lynn, everyone, Denise that's joined us today, have a good weekend. All right, you're welcome, you're welcome. Love and light to you all. Sending you all lots of love, and I will speak to you soon. See you on Monday for Cards of the Week. And don't forget, if you want a 20-minute reading, okay, I'm in tomorrow at the Boho Markets at Jinx the Label in Bustleton. So if you don't know where that is, it's across the road from Spotlight near Bunnings. All right, you're welcome. All right, bye-bye, everybody. See you later.